Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today we have a very special unboxing, something that came in from Smoky Mountain Knife Works, I believe. I don't know if we can tell on there, but it's, no, this is from BergBlades. Yeah, this came in from BergBlades, sorry, wrong one. And it took a little trip in Hazlet, Texas. It was hanging out there for 4 days. Apparently, I'm gonna probably getting a room and board bill from UPS for this box because it decided to spend a little vacation time there. All right, today we're going to be opening up this box. This is coming from BergBlades. Opening up with my yawn knives, my chevron, carbon fiber, tool carbon fiber on one side, titanium on the other, Magnacut hollow grind. Beautiful little knife, very, very fun. So let's get into this box. Super excited about this one here. Okay, let's get the receipt out of the way. What do we have in here? All right, got some BergBlades, a little patch. I've got some of those before. Nice little BergBlades pouch. Ooh, a little sticker kit, which I'm super excited about. I'm gonna go ahead and put this off to the side. What do we have here? If you didn't know, we're looking at the Tick today. Just got released, so here we go. I don't think I have that sticker. I think I have that sticker. I have that sticker, and this is Matt Westberg, the designer. Tick CPM S90V Titanium, Carbon or micarta, and there's his signature. All right, so is this a magnet? Oh, it is a magnet. All right, so let's get into this. Here we go, BergBlades. Nice little box presentation with a little styrofoam on top. And here we go. Now, I've checked out some of the other BergBlades. They were a little smaller, a little more. They're great, and I love the design, but they're just a little small for me. And this one definitely looks bigger and feels bigger. Oh, yeah. All right, so initial feel, everything's rounded beautifully. Initial thought, that's excellent. Excellent. There's no sharp spots anywhere. I like that. Even the clip here, even this little point is rounded nicely. That's a nice touch. Yeah, no sharp here. Even that is beautifully chamfered and rounded. All right, so let's look at the blade. A little sharp on the top, but it's not terrible. It's not, I mean, no, it's not scraping. It's not scraping crazy, so that's wonderful. Got a full backspacer with a nice little design. That's almost reminds me a little bit of Herman knives. I know other people do it, but full utilization blade to handle ratio, which is really nice. It doesn't look like it's a captive pivot, but that's okay. T8's right there. Is that T8? T8's right there. Single hidden hardware on the pocket clip, definitely. Let's see here. Is it nice and rounded going in? Yeah, it is. It's not too steep. What I always look for is like on my Chavez. This part coming in is a nice ramp coming in, but the part pulling out is like really steep. And when your material hits it, it's like hard to get out. Now that's great for if you're running. You don't want your knife to come in and out, but I like it to have a little bit of ramp so I can go in and out. So you'll see like here, there's a ramp on here. It has a lower ramp here, but it still has a ramp coming out. So that's very similar. I don't know if these were both made by Riot. I know the chevron, I believe, was made by Riot. I don't know if this is Bestech or not. We'll have to look. It sure feels very premium, but you know, Bestech's been doing such a fine job lately. Now this is the carbon fiber inlay. That's really nice. Really, really nice. Okay. All right, so here's the flipper. We've got a little stuff in there. All right, so it does have some nice traction. Looks like my worry is that I slide right off, but there's a lot of good traction right there right away. So let's see how it flips. Ready? Ooh, beautiful hollow grind satin finish. I'm digging that. Nice big blade. I don't know if this is a clip point or a drop point. Does he call it on here? I don't know. I would call, to me, is like a clip point. That's what I would say. So beautiful hollow grind, nice finish, nice sharp edge. Let's look at that edge right there. Pretty even on one side. Yeah, pretty even on both sides. So that's nice. All right, frame lock. We're engaged, probably a good 20%. Steel bar insert over travel stop. That's nice. All right, very cool. All right, so there's a little cutaway here. Definitely a little elevated, so you have access to this. There's a cutaway on this side. Definitely a little chamfering on this side, but it's definitely accessible. You can see that. So it's not way down there. Whereas like in this one, it's pretty level, but it's chamfered on both sides. But fortunately, the lock bar is not super tight, so you can get away with that. When the lock bar is a little stronger, a little more robust for a bigger blade, you want to make sure you get a little relief so that you you're not, it's not uncomfortable. Let's see, how does this work? Okay, all right, do that again. Now it's a brand new knife, hasn't broken yet. They haven't put any oil. I'll probably put a little oil on the detent ball. Ooh, that's a nice crisp detent. I like that. All right, so let's see this fuller. Is it usable? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Low? Oh, yes. Very good. All right, let's go left-handed here. Let's see, can I, oops. All right, so I just want to see if my hand up here, is it better if I go high? Well, let's see. Can I go low? Okay, I can go low. Can I put pressure here and be okay? Let's see. Yeah, it's a little tight there, so if I gotta go a little high, so if I go a little lower here, it's a little easier lower. Okay, if I go over here, will this work? All right, so finger on the clip works. Let's see if I can go real high. It's a strong detent, so up high to clear it. Yeah, up high to clear it's definitely strong. Let's see here. Nice and buttery, I will say that. Nice and smooth. That detent is super strong, but the flipper works left-handed, right-handed really nicely. See thumb? Yeah, it works well. How about left-handed thumb? That works well. It is very crisp. I think you guys who like strong detents would call this a good detent. I would call this a strong detent. A little more than I would care for when using a fuller. I mean, for a flipper, if this was a flipper only, I'd be absolutely fine with that. But because we do have a fuller and trying to get to use it, the only way I can get it to work left-handed is I got to have the finger on the clip, right? So finger on the clip works just fine. But going up here, it's so strong, I can't quite break it up here. I have to have just enough angle. Yeah, it is, to get it, I have to go down low. Let's see, can I hold it here? No, it's just, yeah. To really get it, I have to kind of go low. So I might tune that a little bit. All right, see, what's my count? I'm 16 of 30, so there's 30 of these in this run. That's cool. Nice and clickety. Love the satin finish. Little swedge on top, the swedge within the fuller right there. So that's nice for a nice angled cut. Definitely has some nice edge there, to easy for the flicking with the finger and the thumb. The jimping here, okay, not super aggressive, push down, definitely keeps you in place. I like the fact that the jimping lines up across here. That's really cool. That's pretty cool. And it looks like the stop pin's inside, or is it part of the blade, or is it inside? Is there a hole in the blade? Let's see. Trying to see. All right, so there's a stop pin right there, and there's probably a hole in the blade where it goes in. All right, very cool, very cool. Yeah, it's nice access to that lock bar. I like that a lot. That's really, really cool. That's a nice size. All right, can you choke up here? Let's see here. You can. And I got big meaty fingers, so just realize, big meaty fingers. All right, so here's my big meaty fingers. If you have an extra large hand with a regular size finger, double extra large hand with regular smaller fingers, then this is about your grip. I think an extra large hand with big meaty fingers, probably a double extra large hand with big meaty fingers, you might be a little over the edge, but you definitely could get on here. If you choke up, we're talking double, triple, extra large hands for sure. So this is definitely a bigger knife. So we're looking at a knife definitely over 8 inches, right? Barely over 8 inches, but it's definitely over 8 inches. So I would call this a full-size knife. Definitely has some nice weight to it. Let's see, is there any weight relief there? Ooh, there is some significant weight relief in there where there's no carbon fiber inlay. So they definitely did that. That's nice. All right, no lanyard loop, which I do not mind at all. I know some of you guys are going to be disappointed. I'm not. Let's see, for the pocket clip, we are about that deep carry. So it's relatively deep carry. It's not super ultra deep carry, but it's very nicely deep carry. I do love everything's rounded. And I love how this comes up here because that little tip is really close. And that's kind of, you can see beautifully centered, by the way. Nicely centered. All right, any blade rock? No. Any pivot lash? If you do have pivot lash, a lot of time putting skiffs in will fix that. So, all right, so let's listen to that detent. Nice clickety detent. One more time. Any detent lash? No, it's in there really solid. Really, really solid. That's a big, robust blade. We're going to, when we do the review, it's definitely, I think we're looking at 140 thousandths of an inch. I'm just curious because that's a big blade. I got to know. Oh, I left this on. Boy, it's going to kill the battery. 158 thousandths, 157, 158 thousandths of an inch. Whew, that's a big blade. That's a thick blade. It's a big boy. Just out of curiosity. We normally do this during the review, I know, but I'm just curious because it's a big knife. What are we, 4.5? 4.9 ounces? 5? 4.8. Pretty close. Yeah, it's got some weight to it. I mean, if you're looking for an ultra light knife, this is not it, right? But you are talking about a blade that's about 3.5 from the tip to the end, 3.25 cutting length, right? So we're looking at probably about 3 and, well, maybe 3 1/3 cutting length. So there you go. Not quite perfect ratios, but still feels pretty good. So where I'm holding right here, where's the center, this is gonna, if you're holding like this, it's gonna be pretty nice, pretty even. If you're choking up, you know, you can do that. Now for pinch grip, I think Cole, he likes to have a little place there. You could pinch grip pretty well on that, I think. It is a clip point, so I like that part with a nice swedge on top. Nice pokey tip. You can see that it's kind of a robust tip, but it does come to a nice center. So you're definitely going to be able to get into your dog food, cat food, fertilizer, mulch, Amazon boxes, letters, envelopes. Definitely going to be very enjoyable in that regard. Oh, let's see. Did I almost get it there? I think I almost got it. I don't know if it's just breaking in now. It's finally, clearing that detent. Yeah. Maybe it's breaking in a little bit. So there you go. Just for fun, let's go ahead and put a little bit of heavyweight oil on the detent ball. Let's see how that changes, if that changes anything. So there's the detent ball. Just a little drop of oil. Some people are fans of oil, some people are not. I get it. I gotta be slow because it comes out fast once it comes out. There we go. Just one drop, single drop. So I don't think there's a ramp on here now that I look at that. I'm pretty sure there's not. Yeah, there's not a ramp. That's fine. Okay. Does that make a difference in the drop action? It does a little bit, yeah, for sure. Maybe get a little bit of oil in there too. You know, some of you guys are not super fans of oil. I get it. It's not for you. Don't do it, right? It's your knife. You do what you want. It's my knife. I'm going to do what I want, right? So there we go. Worst case, you buy a used knife. You can always take it apart and get rid of the oil. You can always add oil. It's up to you. So there are two schools of thoughts on this, right? Some are, you know, cage bearings should always be dry. Some are, you know, a little bit of oil is good. Some people are like, you know, be generous in the oil, it's fine. It's all up to you. All right, let's see, does this change? Get over here. Yeah, still go low is a better spot. I'm having a little trouble. It could be just because I've got short fingers, right? If your fingers are a little bit longer, that's the only thing about a big blade. But the leverage up there, so it's nice and solid. Definitely in there strong. I do like that a lot, so that's cool. Very nice. That's absolutely cool. Yeah. I was doing it up here earlier. What was I doing to figure it out? You know, it's always, if you get a new knife, every ergos are a little bit different. You just got to figure out what that ergo is. Where was I when I did this? Was I a little high, a little low? I might just tune that detent. I mean, I'll tell you, if you're a flipper and you like a strong detent, this is really nice. I mean, it is definitely a very strong, commanding deployment with that detent on the flipper. I do like that. And with the right hand, it does too. It works well for the thumb. So you can see that I have to really get in there, make sure I get that leverage to get it going. It's not quite as easy. Over here, definitely do the thumb, definitely do the flipper. We can go low, and we're good there. But going up high, it does seems to be a little bit of a challenge. So I don't know if it's, yeah, we'll figure it out. That's what happens when you don't have super long fingers like some of you guys out there. but it's a full-size knife. I like how everything works. I got to figure out that left-handed deployment, reverse flick. To me, that's part of the enjoyment of a knife. So I'll figure it out. I mean, I know I've got the clip thing working out. It's a pretty long clip, which, you know, it's not always my favorite, but I get sometimes when a long clip does help in a reverse flick with the left hand. That's always nice. You can put your hand right on the clip and it will always work, which is nice. You have a real short clip. If you don't have an easy way and it's a frame lock, then sometimes you pull a pressure. Now, bolster lock with a short clip is great, right? So I do like this. So I would say this is probably gray, maybe sandblasted on here with a titanium, marble titanium inlay, which is absolutely spectacularly perfect. Don't see any void on there at all. No, I don't. Really, really nice. S90V blade steel. I don't know what the Rockcale hardness on this, did it say? It did not, but I wonder. Definitely nice and sharp for sure. It's going to be a beautiful slicer. Just out of curiosity, I do have I have a few slices of paper from from shipping that I thought I'd use. So let's see. You know, it cuts. Being a hollow grind, yeah, it's edgy. It's edgy. It's not super smooth. So, you know, what makes me want to consider is, all right, let's see what the edge is on that that edge. I mean, let's see what the angle is on that edge. So we're about 20%. I mean, 28 degrees, maybe 18, 19 degrees, maybe 21. I don't know. Let's see. I did that a little bit. All right, no build up, nothing going on there. Over here, so maybe 21, 20, probably around 20 degrees. All right, that feels really smooth right there. Yeah, so I'm going to say it's probably around 20 degrees. That's my guess. Yeah. It's Magnacut, so it'll take a little while to kind of break in. So I'm hoping it's at least 62 to 64, right? I'm hoping that's what we're looking at for our Rockcale hardness. I'll have to look on the website to see what it is. This is just an initial unboxing, my first impression of the knife. Not doing a review. I'll do a review after I've carried this. This is a knife for my collection. It's not a knife given to me or loaned to me by anybody. So we'll carry and use this knife. I can tell you my first impressions are very good. All right, so I went a little low over here. I was down here, so I probably need to go a little bit higher. I'm used to around 17 degrees. That's where when I sharpen my edges or re-apex the edges, I do about 17 degrees. I like that. That's a comfortable angle for me. Now, may not be for you, but you know, that's what I like. How I use my knife, it works. So, all right, let's see. Did that make any difference? Just to see, you know. Oh yeah, much better. It still needs a little extra work, but it is Magnacut. Magnacut will take a little, probably if it's the Rockcale hardness is a little higher, it's going to be a little longer on the belt. Oh, sorry, not Magnacut. I keep saying it's Magnacut. It's S90V. Why do I keep saying it's Magnacut? It's weird. All right. Oh, I know why. Because my chevron is Magnacut. This one's Magnacut. So this one's S90V, which is a harder steel to sharpen for sure. But it will have a nice, wonderful edge retention once you get there, right? So that's definitely one of those things. So nice reverse flicking. All right, very cool. All right, so real quick, all the chamfering roundedness is really cool. The jimping here works really well. It's nice, aggressive jimping on the flipper, which works really nice. You get your finger in there, it's not going to slide out. It does have a nice control. Can you do a push button? You can do a push button. You can do a push button light switch combo, so you can kind of go here at an angle. I feel like that's the best, but you can do a full light switch if you wanted to, of course, and then you can just do the push button. But I think the angle or full light switch is, to me, is my favorite. The reverse flick works really well right-handed. The thumb flick works well right-handed. The thumb flick works great left-handed. The flick works great left-handed. Just don't keep your finger on that. And then down here for reverse flick, keep your finger on the clip. Works really well right now until I maybe tune it. Backspacer's really nice. I like that. Keeps nice guarded on the blade. The clip looks really nice. No hot spots anywhere. Holding it in there really tight. Yeah, it feels good. You can choke up. The finger choil or sharpening choil is definitely great for a finger as well. So that's really nice. The blade stop pin is inside the blade. So you're not worrying about hitting anything like the choil or anything like that. So that is nice. Yeah. Oh, it's got a little cutout here for the flipper as well. So that's nice. When you flip, gives you a little extra push in there. So that's a nice little touch, I think. Like I said, the cutout here for the frame lock is really nice. Very generous, easy access. Doesn't tire your finger out. You don't feel like you're trying to get a big meaty finger into a really small spot, which to me can be really annoying when I have my fingers, right? People with thin, skinny little fingers, not a big deal most of the time for them like that. But for me, that's an important thing, right? So there you go. The BergBlades Tick. This is carbon fiber inlay. Very, very, very cool. I like it a lot. All right, so let's take a nice close look up. Zoom in on that nice hollow grind with that clip point right there and a beautiful, it's got a swedge on top and the fuller, which is really nice. Very simplistic, minimal BergBlades right there. And on the back side, you have the same thing. Hollow grind, beautiful. S90V right there, the fuller, little swedge on top. Very minimalistic, but beautiful hollow grind. And we've got the handle here with the carbon fiber, carbon fiber inlay, beautiful, seamless, feels absolutely flawless. Little pivot collar. It is not a captive pivot, so I'm assuming, at least that's what I'm assuming it is. You may need 2 stubby screwdrivers. There's the clip. It should go in and out in the pocket nicely. We'll confirm that afterwards. This has been nicely chamfered, so that's cool. Rounded everywhere, which is really nice. And then you can see the cutaway right here. Easy access for the thumb. You're not having to dig your finger into a little itty bitty spot. It actually has got a little cutaway, so that's nice. And then here's the back spacer, very aesthetically pleasing. There's no lanyard hole, so sorry about that, but I do like the way this looks. Little cutaway up here. The jimping on the blade is really nice and useful. That's actually very useful. And then here we are on the other side right here, the show side, where you have the 2 screws. A lot of times it's always interesting. I get having the screw over here because you have a hidden screw over here. That makes sense if you're trying to just do that. And so two screws holding the whole thing together for the back spacer makes sense. Unless you put pins in there and then you have, a hidden screw underneath and then a screw that goes in on that side. That's always a possibility, but that's more design, probably a little more difficult, right? So I love actions, nice. It's not bad. It could be a little better, but for some people it'll be perfect, right? So there you go. Nice and closed, easy access to the fuller for deployment on both sides, which I think is great. It's not a super huge lock bar, so it's, your finger can get clear of it. It's just if your fingers are long enough to leverage it just right. That's the only thing for myself personally. Yeah, and then the finger choil right there works really well, and it does work. There's plenty of room. I can get my big old meaty fingers in there, so that's pretty nice. All right, so let's zoom out on this beautiful knife, and let's get a nice single picture for, the whole video. I want to make sure we highlight that wonderful hollow grind right there. You can see that. Let's look at the back. I'll get a nice close look up. That wonderful hollow grind right there. Look at the top of it. Here's the bottom. Nice, I'm going to say 30% lockup on there. Really nice, really nice. Very cool. All right, so that is the BergBlades Tick. I like it. First impressions are very, very good. So I'm going to do a little part 2. If you want to stick around, I'm going to put skiffs in there, assuming I have the right skiff size. I did run out of one particular size, and I'm hoping it's not the size it needs. If it is, I'll see if I can steal some skiffs from another knife, but we'll see. But we'll go ahead and do that next. So I don't know if anybody submitted the size of the skiffs here yet for this. If not, I'll let Steve Skiff know about that, and he can put it on his compatibility chart. Again, the question some people ask, does it need skiffs? No, it doesn't need skiffs. Is it beautifully smooth right now? It is really smooth. For a factory knife, it's a very beautiful, smooth knife. I will not lie to you. That is really nice. But do skiffs make a difference? Yeah, they do. It's just really nice. So let's go ahead and get into it and do the skiffs part next. All right, so part 2, I guess. Here we go. For that, you're going to need some tools. All right, we're going to need some tools. We're going to need some wheel bits. We'll definitely need our oil over here. We might need our Loctite and, of course, our little compatibility chart. So let's go ahead and get into that. I believe this is all T8s. Now, to me, it's really important when you first take a knife apart, especially if it's Riot or something, you want to make sure you have the best leverage and really solid in there. And I think these are T8s, by the way. This is a T8. See that? T8. Okay. So let's get in there. So if there's any Loctite in there, you want to break that Loctite nice and evenly. Yeah, so that's a long screw. So that's the first one. We'll put that over here. The second one, I'm not sure if that goes, oh, maybe. I thought it went into the clip. It does. Looks like it doesn't. All right, so there we go. And if it has a little trouble getting out, I get my little iFixit little wedge thing here. It usually helps me to get free. Get my cloth. Now I put all that oil in there. We're going to wipe it all off because we're going to clean it down. And we're going to take out this little washer. It's nice to have a steel washer in there so you're not on the titanium directly. Which, yeah, it's all right. So I always look for the side that's the smoothest. One may have burrs. So looking at this, these look almost identical. All right, so it looks like we could use both. These look like big washers, so that's a good sign. I might have some. I'm hoping that's the case. Now this is the blade stop pin right there. They are pretty big, so let's see what size are they. Is this a 1/4 inch? Oh, it's a 6mm. All right, 6mm. All right, very good. 6mm, and is it not okay? 6mm 1/16. So there's a good chance I have something for that. So I'm excited about that. Nice cutout here on the blade. You can see here's where the pin goes through. Here's a track. There's no ramp, which is fine. Ramps are, some people love ramps, some people don't. I get it. I don't mind ramps. I think they're cool. You may not. That's totally fine. All right. Some people avoid ramps like the plague, and that's fine. It's your knife, your money. Buy what you want. All right. So let's take a look here. All right. So before we go, let's see if we have the skiffs for this. So we need 6mm. 1/16. So I think that's these guys right here. But hold on, that's a pretty wide one, so I might be able to do the multi-row. Do I have any 6mm multi-rows? Let's take a look. I do have 2 6mm multi-row. Let's see if either of those work. If not, we'll use just these guys, but I'm kind of curious. Outer diameter 0.492, 0.466. So let's use the smaller one. Don't know if it'll fit. You won't know until you try. So will it fit into? Oh yes. Oh, yeah. Right. All right. So why am I excited? Multi-row are cool. That they just are. It gives you more contact points. It's a reason why places or people like Shergoroff and Custom Knife Factory and other places use multi-row. They're just cool. It gives you better contact with it. So yes, the 6mm ones work, but the 6mm 16 ball count also work. Now you want to get the one with the 0.466 outer diameter. That's actually what the one that fits. All right, so this is Loctited in there, so that's good to know. So I can't loosen this pivot. Looks like they glued that in there, so that's kind of the pseudo captive, but not really pivot. All right, so now let's reassemble this, but before we do that, this is a little tight here. Not much, but in order to really adjust it, I want to remove the clip. So in order to remove the clip, it is a T8 as well. You hear that little pop? That's breaking the, I don't know if it's a Loctite in there or something, but it's definitely breaking what's holding it in place. So now I'm going to get the clip off of there. And now we're going to get this little lock bar, seal bar insert. It's going to be a very, very, very slight adjustment that I'm going to do here, just so you know. Does this come out easily? Oh, it does. Oh, very good. All right. Sometimes if it doesn't come out easily, you can take one of these longer screws. Usually it'll be the same thread, and then you can use it to pull it right off. It's kind of cool. Oh, very good. All right, so looks like these inlays are screwed in. That's nice. It means that you could actually remove them if you had to clean underneath. That's cool. That's good to know. Very cool. All right, very nice. All right, so adjusting it, this is ever so slight. So I don't know if you can see this. There's just a little bit right here, just a little bit. And I don't want to move it much. So I always go very light at first. I don't know how malleable this lock bar is. I'm going to go with that. I don't know if I did move it or not. Let me see. I think I did. Did I move it? Yeah, I think that's enough. I think I did ever so slightly. I don't like to move it a whole lot, but ever so slightly. Okay, so put this back in. Make sure you can see it. I want to see, is this washer completely polished the same way on both sides? Usually you can feel it on a cloth. It'll drag. Okay, just a little bit of oil. Super excited to put these multi-row on. Now we're going to put our blade stop pin back on. I believe these are the same size caged bearings that the Brian Brown Jaeger uses. Which makes me think that this is probably a Riot made knife. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. I don't know for sure. We'll definitely talk about it in the review if I know by then. Sometimes they don't let the OEM out. So this already has a track on here, and as long as the track, there's no burrs on the other side, I'm going to use the non-track side because it'll set up its own tracks all by itself. So before we put this together, let's put the clip back on because you don't want to have to take the knife apart just to reassemble the clip, right? Now it is an inset clip, so I got to get it into the hole there. Nice and solid. Okay, we've got the washer there. Put that over there. All right, that's in place there. Now I'll put some Loctite on afterwards. Once everything's put together. So reverse thread, listen for the click where I know I've cleared it, and so I don't cross thread it. Okay. Now we're going to put these in over here. And they are the same length, so it doesn't matter. And sometimes you don't need to put Loctite on these guys. I like these screws, they're very robust. It's not weak screws. Appreciate that a lot. No blade play. Look at that. And I didn't even put any detent oil on there. Like, golly, I totally forgot about that. We can kind of make up for that. It'll feed in there. Just got to be careful not to put too much. We'll do a couple of small drops and then spread it out, and then I'll do another drop. More little drop. It's easier if you do it before you put the knife together. I was just so excited about this. I was really excited to see the multi-row, man. That's a bonus, man. That's just awesome. It's just going to mean so much better goodness. I mean, there's so much hype for this knife. I get it. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I barely tuned. We're dead center. No blade rock. Lock in there. So before I thought I felt pivot lash. None. Because Skiffs will always fix that. Because their tolerances are phenomenal. And then you have multi-row. That's even better. And then the detent clicks in nicely. Still in there nicely. Flip is great. Let's see, can we do it easily now? We can, as long as I don't get in the way. Oh yeah, that's a little better. So I prefer that. You may not prefer that, so it's up to you, right? And you may have longer fingers than me, and so this may not be a big deal. But just that ever so slight tuning of the detent makes this fuller reverse flick just so, oops. I gotta get in there. Okay, so I'm figuring out where the blade is. There we go. This just makes it so much nicer. That's cool. All right, very cool. Very cool. So hopefully you guys found that informative and helpful. It's always fun putting in skiffs. I did need this. I like to use this when I'm trying to thread something really long. I don't like it when I first take a screw out because you don't always get the best leverage because I can't always get down low as I'd like to get. This one allows me a little bit better leverage. I feel like I can do that. So I love both screwdrivers and they're very useful, but we'll do the Loctite here in just a second. I'll probably put some on. Yeah, I'm going to put the oils away. Since I feel very good about how this knife was done, I feel like I'm going to be good with where we're at with it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. But before we do that, just let's make sure we know what washers. Now, this is a single row, and there is a 6mm single row that will work. So here, I'll show you. I actually have them over here. So typically, and I wonder if it's already up on his compatibility, but this is the single row. These will work. Single row absolutely will work. But the thing is, these are a little wider. And so the cool thing is the multi-row is the same width, and it fits in there perfectly. It's like the Brian Brown Jaeger. It had a single row. I think there were plastic cage bearings as well, but it can use the multi-row. And so the one you want to get is a 6mm, 0.238, 0.466, 16 ball count 1/16. That's nicer. Now you could do the 13 row. Absolutely do just the 13 row like this, and that'll work too. But I feel like that one gives you just a little better leverage, a little better contact. It just feels better overall. So I'm excited about that. So I'm going to put these old cage bearings with the knife over here. All right, so I should probably do one little picture so you guys can see it. I'm going to zoom in on this, maybe like this, so you can see that. Take a picture, all right, and then we're going to zoom back out. Oops, sorry, back out if I can figure out how to do that, like a dummy. All right, man. All right, so here we go. Beautiful. I can feel it. Before it felt really amazing, but it already feels premium. This is such a great knife with skiffs. Even better with skiffs. All right, so because I want to be able to carry this ASAP. Let me go ahead and put some Loctite in there. I have new bottles of everything. This is my old stuff. I'm just trying to use it all, right? So of course I need my tool again real quick. Now in this case, since I already broke it, not broke it, but opened it once, I don't need to worry about it being stuck. I can use this, and this is where it becomes helpful. So you see how I can easily go in and out. I don't have to move my hand. the leverage I have back here, I can hold this here and then turn it. That's really nice. I'm going to hold this like this. Make sure I don't have too much on there. And I do. Now let's wipe that off. Let's wipe the excess off. Oh yeah, it's in there nice and solid. So as soon as you put that in, I always say, let it sit at least for an hour minimally, right? With doing nothing, but probably overnight so it cures completely. But man, this is nice. This is nice. I get the hype. I get the hype. This is so good. This is so good. I'm digging it. Yeah, I'm digging it. Very, very cool. Look at that action now. It's beautiful. It's going to keep breaking in more and more. And I love that. I just wanted that nice control drop. That's what I'm looking for. So very, very cool. Solid in there. Beautiful. Definitely worth getting the Skiffs for. I do recommend them. You don't need them, no. If you're not comfortable doing it, don't. But if you are, oh, so nice. So nice. Definitely cool. All right. That's the BergBlades Tick. It is everything I hoped it would be. I'm glad it came in. I'm so glad it wasn't lost. Oh, man, I'm so glad. So glad it wasn't lost. Beautiful design here by Matt. I appreciate Matt Westberg. He's BergBlades. So, Matt, I did reach out to him and said, hey, it's been 4 days in Hazlet, Texas, and told me to be patient, and I was. I mean, well, I wasn't, because I reached out to him, so I appreciate his patience with me, but I am glad it did show up, because I would not want it to. I was worried that they wouldn't have any more of these, that he would be out, and I would not get this particular one that I really wanted. So now I'm really happy I have it. So very cool. Hopefully you found this interesting. Let me know if you have any questions about the blade. I'm going to be doing a full review, obviously. I can tell you first impressions are very good. Skiffs are amazing in there. Definitely recommend that. So very cool. Definitely recommend the multi-row. The 6mm pivot size, but the multi-row one. But don't get, there's 2 multi-rows, so make sure you get the, don't just assume one multi-row is the same, right? So just so you know, there's a multi-row that's 0.492 inches outer diameter, and the other one's 0.466 outer diameter. I got the 0.466 outer diameter. That's the same one I used on my Jaeger, my Brian Brown Jaeger. So, and some other knives. Definitely cool to have the multi-row. All right. Hey, if you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, or informative, would you please consider hitting the like button down below? And if you've already hit that like button, would you please consider hitting the subscribe button down below? Subscribing and liking the videos really helps out the channel, allows the channel to produce more content, do more things, ultimately do more things for you guys. So thank you. Thank you to everyone who watches the videos, who enjoys the videos, who enjoys the content, who watches the live stream. Man, I appreciate you so very, very much. Thank you. And if you haven't already, hit that notification button down below so you can be notified of future content like this video. I appreciate you. And also to a big shout out, thank you to my channel members. I appreciate you guys. You guys really are tremendous. You encourage me many times when sometimes I'm not sure if I should keep doing the channel, and I appreciate you for that. But also, yeah, you help me to do things in this channel that I didn't think I would be able to do for quite a long time down the road, right? So I'm very grateful to you all for that. And if you've been, thinking, hey, I'd like to become a channel member, I would love to have you. I'd be honored. There's a link down in the description, 3 different tiers. Would be honored in any way you'd want to become a channel member, right? So know that I'll do a couple of special things for channel members, but also know that you do not have to be a channel member. I don't ever want you to feel pressured to be a channel member, but as my way to say thank you to the channel members, because you've been so generous, I do a once a month members giveaway. Usually it's an exclusive, very nice knife. It's not just a little budget banger, which is awesome. A nice, great budget knife for the regular giveaways I do every week, but it's a really nice knife, and I do that every month. Just a small way for me to say thank you. Second way is I make sure every brand new member gets a sticker, channel sticker, if you email me with your name and address. Love to mail you a sticker. As long as you're a channel member right now, you've never received a sticker, So that goes for you guys who've been members for a while and never asked, or were members and became members again and are a member right now. Email me with your name and address. I'd love to mail you a sticker, channel sticker, just to say thank you. Thank you for being a channel member, supporting the channel. I appreciate you so very much. I really do. But I appreciate all of you guys, those who watch the videos, who are subscribers, those who enjoy the content, who are part of the live streams. Thank you to every one of you out there. Hey, if you haven't already, also check me out over on Instagram at Robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at Robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching today. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.